Man, that is one ginormous box. Alright guys, we've been hyped up for a very long time, if not actually tormented about a release of one of the most important sauropods, and a scientifically accurate one at that. Brachiosaurus! Hope you guys can see that well, because this is a large model. Now, a few years back, there was a hoax image of a supposed PNSO Brachiosaurus. And yeah, that sucked. In fact, you know what, right? I'd call it psycho. Now, Everything Dinosaur a few months back were kind enough to reserve this particular specimen for me weeks in advance. So, thank you, Mike and Sue for that. Now, this is a specimen that is mandatory. Not only for sauropod lovers, but those that love dinosaurs. Before I saw that iconic scene in Jurassic Park, Brachiosaurus was my only familiarized, if not favorite sauropod, on account of this book I enjoyed reading. Now, you can see that in the link attached above. Now, Brachiosaurus isn't the largest of the sauropods. It's sort of a mid-upper rank, but is the most memorable. Well, to me anyway. It was quite the treat seeing it in Walking with Dinosaurs, though its appearance was brief. The majesty of its entrance was done superbly, and it had an ace musical score to it. Brachiosaurus is the largest dinosaur known from relatively complete remains. And Brachiosaurus means arm lizard on account of the forearms being longer than the hind limbs, which is a unique trait amongst the Brachiosauridae. They had sloped backs. Their niche as top eyebrowsers would eventually be replaced by the much larger Titanosaurids. We all know Brachiosaurus from that majestic opening segment of Jurassic Park. To me, it's one of the most endearing moments in cinema. In Jurassic Park, a clone specimen was shown to rear up on its hind limbs, which wouldn't have been advisable unless they were mating due to the weight-related stress imposed on the hips. Brachiosaurus, it's clear that Brachiosaurus had evolved akin to a giraffe to browse upon the tallest vegetation in the area to avoid competition with fellow sauropods. Convergent evolution, and then some. Brachiosaurus can also be distinguished by this distinctive crest on its head. It's certainly paramount on advanced sauropods. Sorry, it might be a bit blurry there, because this is a very large model. Brachiosaurus lived around 145 million years ago in the Morrison Formation of North America, as well as Africa, which had recently separated from the Americas. A close relative, Giraffatitan of Africa, has long been confused as a species of Brachiosaurus, but anyone with better knowledge than me, please correct me if I'm wrong. But be nice about it, please. The Brachiosauridae ranged from the later Jurassic to the early Cretaceous, whereas most sauropod groups had gone extinct. Alright, let's take a look at the model. Now, I went for the blue variation as it reminds me of the specimen seen in Walking with Dinosaurs. Well, for a bit of nostalgia's sake anyway. And dinosaurs, no matter how big they are, don't appear to be drab like you see in mammals. Well, giraffes are the exception. And Brachiosaurus is continuing that on. Sorry with the shaky hands here. This specimen is overwhelming. Oh, look at it there. Oh, look at that neck. Brachiosaurus, 30 feet. My theory is that, given they were so large, they had to lower their necks slowly, just like a giraffe. Yeah, this specimen has a simple frill of tubercles there, and there's a crude beak and not fleshy lips. There's this nice slate blue mottled patterning, and there's a on the dorsal kind of a sandy coloration. Yeah, more dappled pale patternings, a kind of a broken banding patterning, and the striped banding there on the tail, and this more red, a pinkish coloration. Yeah, kind of counter shade there. And you've got this creased patterning there, and a throat pouch. Now, I said to you guys, dinosaurs being archosaurs, I believe like all of them would have had some sort of a throat pouch. And the trunk of the animal here is longer. Not as compacted as you see with the other companies that clearly base their models off the Jurassic Park design. And the legs are sleeker, not like them stumpy elephant-like designs. Yeah, and they've got the thumb claw there, and no visible toe claws, and also the three sideway facing claws that we do actually see from the fossilized footprints. Now, with the enlarged nasal passages, I had a radical theory that Brachiosaurus, while quenching its thirst, might have sucked up water through its nostrils like an elephant, instead of lapping it up. This long neck might be anatomical parallel evolution. The prehistoric planet has given us some educated suggestions at what the function of these fenestra could be. And the head and neck were the key focus points for these high browsers. It makes my imagination run wild to what displays, what courtship rituals they were capable of. I've seen plenty of artworks of sauropods with inflatable air sacs, some streaming turkey-like models, and sometimes extendable quills. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if some species had a cobra hood-like function. Brachiosaurus was around 12, 30 meters tall, and had a length of about over 20 meters long. Now, this beautiful model, it's the biggest one I've got so far. I mean, they have larger specimens available, but I'm not going to get a hold of them. They're too expensive, and plus, got no space anymore to accommodate, like, you know, an Argentinosaurus. But no, this practically completes one part of my specimen collection. But no, I've been waiting for this for a real long time. One thing I might add is that the Morrison Formation was a host to a myriad of sauropods that skeletally look similar to one another, though Brachiosaurus fossils from the region are comparatively rare. Also, Haolonggood with the Brachiosaurus order comes with a complementary stegosaurid, Haolonggood. Though I don't know why they made that choice. Not that there's anything wrong with the model itself. Just that Haolonggood lived earlier, around 165 or so million years ago, and in China. So they could have used a regional stegosaurid. But nonetheless, it's a fine addition. I mean, I've been wanting another Haolonggood. Nice gesture, though. So, thank you, Haolonggood. Right, despite being from a different company, this Brachiosaurus actually does scale up well with my other Morrison Formation specimens. So, here we have the PNSO Camarasaurus of about 18 meters. And you can see the size variation consummating the niche partitioning. Stegosaurus, about, I'm guessing 9 meters or so. And Terror of the Plains, Haolonggood. Yeah, that's absolutely lovely. I mean, just looking at that model across the room from you, the neck extending out, absolute majesty. Haolonggood, keep it up. You're providing a real fan service here.